This is the book of Isaiah chapter 32. I'm going to start at verse 9, and it reads, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, but Salakia, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth, Salakia, and gird sackcloth upon your loins." I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to God, Elohim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakados Wakatam. I say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. I say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. I say shalom to the Akwath, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. So this is your brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant. I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Just got a quick article saying brothers do lessons on it. And this is significant because of the fact it's all foretold in the scriptures. But today was the final day of those emergency food stamps. I'm in the state of Ohio, city of Cleveland to be exact, and this is what we got going on. This, this article is basically talking about Ohio. It says major changes coming for food stamps and Medicaid in Ohio in 2023. If you are on health insurance through Medicaid or receive food through Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, you want to know that major changes are coming soon to both programs. Both Medicaid and SNAP have been operating under different regulations ever since a federal emergency was declared on January 31st, 2020. So they're trying to say 3 years ago. In response to the CV-19 pandemic, Congress enacted the Families First CV Response Act, which included a requirement that Medicaid programs keep people continuously enrolled through the end of the month in which the CV-19 public health emergency stops, which they say they're going to declare the end of it, I think, in May. Now, I also saw an article that was saying how basically they're going to do something with the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, I believe that's the name of it. But basically, in the state of Ohio, they want to basically place your ID on there, your picture, like a ID, like a driver's license or whatever. So basically, only you can utilize that card. Now, I think they said that it'll be exemptions for certain people, but for the most part, they're coming with changes. It's going into how they're talking about a lot of people can be basically just kicked off of Medicaid because it's no longer deemed pandemic. Although they're talking about, you got hotspots of viruses and all. It's funny. But Salakia, it says the first round of termination letters. Okay, Salakia, but I just spoke it up. This is what you can do. According to the Ohio Department of Medicaid, normal operations started in February. As a result, some Ohio Medicaid members will be disenrolled from the program. The first round of termination letters being mailed to those who are no longer eligible beginning in April 2023. That's why it is very important to make sure that your contact information is up to date. So basically, the point of the article, or the point of me bringing this out, is, like they said, the Medicaid is ending, as well as the SNAP program. Basically, some people won't be able to. The emergency SNAP benefits are being cut, and then in certain states, they're literally, like, if you received a certain amount, like, I forgot what state, but they were saying like they were receiving $900 a month. Well, that $900 got cut down to $200, because basically these states are broke, and it's ultimately the design of the elites that they want you, in a state of desperation. So, scriptures talk about at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So, when you go to the word devices, is thoughts or plans. This devil's constantly plotting. It tells you that in this book of Micah chapter 2. This man devises wickedness on his bed. Scriptures say that this man cannot sleep unless he do wickedness. So back in Salakia, back in Isaiah again, chapter 32, and verse 9, rise up, you women that are at ease, because they are at ease. The Babylonian woman, aka the American woman, she's been so pampered and put on a pedestal in America, and she's at ease, But this is going to affect a lot of women. It's going to affect men too. It's going to affect everybody, but it's going to affect these women that think that they don't need a man. That think that they are just so independent. When you realize that, I was listening to the brother from Mississippi. He was going into how, a woman has never really founded nothing. And that Amazonian shit with Wonder Woman, that's not real. You know what I mean? Like, a woman has everything that a woman has basically been privileged to, is based off of a man. Yeah, and that's just the truth of the matter. The shame is this, that a woman is so in the mindset that she's trying to compete or be something that is out of sync with nature. You trying to compete with a man. When times get hard, you're not gonna really want to be in a position of being like a man. A lot, like I said again, a lot of especially it's a first. I can't think of the female name, but she has a YouTube channel. She showcases cars sometimes, and then she does like this dating show, Shoot Your Shot or something like that. Long story short, though, nonetheless, she has a certain kind of mindset towards men. Like she said, she wouldn't want to be a man because men have it harder than women. And that's just the truth of the matter. A woman to get basically catered to or helped. A woman to get help quicker than a man will. That's just the fact of the matter. But you got to question yourself, like, if a woman out here, like when I was homeless, part of my testimony in this truth is the Lord had to humble me so low to the point where I was homeless, and call Loyam Lai Yahweh Shemi Shah for that. But anyhow, and you get the question, I would see women out there and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? What did these women do? Because like I said again, a person to naturally feel sorry for a woman. That's why they don't really want women in the service, because if you fighting in war and then the woman get hurt, the man's mindset is, okay, now you got to say that woman. That's why, like, say, when this shit happen, there's going to be a lot of, this ain't going to go the way that they quite think. But it says, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the venture shall fail. And the ventures is failing out when they cutting these food stamp programs. Eventually, I was listening to one brother from Kansas City, and he was saying how, one day you're going to go and you're going to try to, use that card and it's going to be declined. And that has happened already. I believe, what year was that? Can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like, it wasn't 08. Maybe like 2000 and, I want to say maybe like 2012, 2013. But I'll never forget it. They had just built that casino in Cleveland, and I was watching. People was trying to use their food stamp cards or use their credit cards and couldn't use them. So showing you that basically it control if you could use your food stamps or your credit cards. It says, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins, because this place is being exposed. These women being exposed, America's being exposed. Makes me think of Isaiah chapter 47, it talks about come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And believe it, these governments, Salaki, these state governments are broke. Because you got to understand, they get their power and their money from taxing the citizens. Well, if the citizens ain't working, how you gonna get your money? So, going into the book of Zephaniah, I'm going to start at verse 2, and it reads, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fishes of the sea, the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 12, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will not do good, neither will he do evil. You know, because you got people, you know, I mentioned the women, but you got men that is in that mindset as well. Basically chasing the bag. You know, I just seen an old video of Kevin Samuels. He talked about you got to cut your hair in order to move up in Esau's, companies and businesses, which is true, because they want you to basically take on their image. You know, you can't come in there with no gigantic afro or no huge beard. You got to be clean shaven. You know what I mean? That's how, and that's just the fact of the matter. But you got men of our nation that are settled on their lees, given the pleasure and really trusting and hoping in Babylon the Great. And the Lord is going to disappoint them. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. So you're going to have individuals of our nation, that's literally really putting they all into Babylon the Great. And the scriptures talk about occupy till I come. So you got to get your daily bread. You got to do certain things. But at the same time, you're not supposed to be trying to make a life here, like as if the next 10, 15 years. Through the Spirit, I pray that this is the year that all the prophecies be fulfilled. Because like I said, the more and the longer we sit in Babylon the Great, the more vexing this place is to those that are true believers of the Bible. A Christian isn't a true believer of the scriptures. Well, let me take that back. They're not a true believer of the God of the Bible, which is not JC, but is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You tell a person of the mindset of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and a brother in the truth will completely understand, but a Christian won't. But we read not the same Bible, and that's two totally different spirits. Christian don't want to come to this truth because they are basically settled in the lees. When it comes to this truth, you have to be disciplined. We about to come up into the high holy day of the Passover. That means restricting yourself from eating certain things. You got to clean out your house. You got to basically go without eating leaven. Jake don't even want to not pop his woman on the Sabbath. You know what I mean? Like something that you can easily do. Verse 14, the great day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is near. It is near that and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. And you go see it coming. It talks about it's going to be a famine of the word. Not famine of bread, but it's going to be a famine of bread as well. And you see the pre-staging of this based on the fact that, you had all these processing plants and food places be burnt up. And then on top of it, they're cutting back on the food stamps. Inflation ain't went nowhere. If anything, it went up. But they're cutting back on emergency stamps. Like, come on. Then I heard the brother make mention of, he said literally things that was easy to basically be able to survive off of, that you could sustain yourself. It's a guy that has a TikTok channel that, no, he has a YouTube channel, but I guess he got TikTok too. And he was going into how basically before he became famous on TikTok, he was struggling. He would ask his family to buy him eggs, and he was sustaining himself off of eating eggs. Well, now eggs is $6 and $7. Milk is, $4, $5. Butter is, the thing, butter and the eggs, what I mean? And just imagine if you ain't got no potatoes or whatnot, you can still make some meals out of eggs. But if you take time to think about it, 3 eggs a day as a grown man, 3 eggs a meal or something like that, you pretty much ran through that carton of eggs at $6. Yeah, that adds up. So, that great day is coming for real. It says, verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon all men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. The scriptures talk about, they're going to say peace and safety, and then sudden destruction shall come upon them. These men, even 2/3 of our nation are completely blinded to what's the Lord is brewing up. Psalms 119 says, it's time for ye to work because they have made void thy law. And part of this work that the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing is going to be, he's going to cause a famine. People are going to starve to death, Famines is nothing new. There's mentioned multiple times in the scriptures. And if everything repeats itself, then yeah, it will be another one. This is the book of Acts chapter 11. And I'm going to start at verse 27 and to read. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem to Antioch, Salakia. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. So that was, when you go into the word dearth, it's basically a famine. So you had famines in the past, and you're going to have famines now. To the point where, people are going to become violent. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to get the point, straight to the point. I'm going to start at verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the Salakia, 2 Ezra 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that's a prophecy. It's going to get so bad out here on the food side that people are going to be robbing each other for food. But, scriptures talk about trusting the Lord, and those that trust in the Lord going to take care of. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13, and it reads, Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power, behold, my servants shall eat. Those that serve the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall eat. It's countless accounts, where the Lord had fed his servants, from Elijah. I think that was Habakkuk. Habakkuk brought Daniel food, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And on and on. Verse 13, Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Verse 14, Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart. Because we know we are awaiting the kingdom. This is not the kingdom to us. This is a hell. It's which hell is the grave, or it can be a condition. What's the scripture, or not scripture, but what's that saying? They say a white man's heaven is the black man's hell, and vice versa. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And these individuals, these 2/3, these heathen, they're going to be vexed. Scriptures talk about there should be howling and gnashing of teeth, meaning they're going to be wailing and whining, and not whining, but they're like, true vexation, true, what's the word? True distress. You know what I mean? You see a movie where a parent loses their child or something like that. Just imagine these people going to watch their children die. And that's judgment. And the scriptures talk about the Most High judge of every day. The scriptures talk about how the Most High love of judgment. And you got judgments, you got righteous judgments, and you got, judgments for the wicked. And I pray I receive a righteous judgment as well as all the sincere Akim out here pushing this truth with faith and sincerity. So I pray that this year be a bloody Passover and the Lord protect his servants. And I pray I'll be one of them. I pray all the sincere Akim, the Lord watch over you and your households. And if you are a Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakotosukatam. Take that honor to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath, as well as the Akim to listen and learning. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come to another lesson, I'm going to say shalom, shalom, and Mawatha Lababal, shalom.